So how old was the world's oldest natural mum when she gave birth? A not so sprightly 59 years old.
We were just talking about it. It seems almost inconceivable, but Dawn Brooke, who's British, became the world's oldest mother when she... a natural mother, I should say, when she conceived without fertility treatment and gave birth at 59. That was back in 1997. Doesn't seem right. You're watching The Right Stuff live on 5, the Yasmin Ali by Brown, Christopher Biggins and Milkshake's Chemi Magics. I'd like to thank Satan's Thong for twittering us this morning with the message, "Don't dance again. I've seen people on fire move better." Fair play. Fair play, Mr. Thong. Hopefully I just call you Satan. Still to come, would you let your parents or your in-laws be your mates on Facebook? Saying no may hurt their feelings. Saying yes could give them access to a whole lot of personal stuff you wouldn't like them to see. So what would you do? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts. But first, the world's oldest mum, as I said, has died of cancer, aged 69, meaning her two twin sons who are 2, are orphans. And when I read this story this morning, I thought, this proves IVF doctors should not be impregnating older women. 2 little tots have to face a future without no mum, no dad. That is wrong, wrong, wrong. Maria del Carmen Busada from Spain gave birth to Pau and Christian days before her 67th birthday after having IVF in the United States. She lied to doctors about her age, by the way, claiming she was only 55. Anyway, someone in the office then pointed out to me that Maria hadn't died of old age. She died of cancer. And cancer can strike anyone at any time. Jade Goody was only 27. She left 2 young boys behind. So, you know, no one's turning around and saying, well, Jade shouldn't have done it. So maybe we are wrong to throw metaphorical stones at Maria del Carmen Busada. I mean, true, the chances of developing cancer increases significantly with age. I think nearly 3/4 of cases, cancer cases occur in people over 60. And some believe IVF can increase the risk. That's something scientists are looking into, even as I speak. So are there any conclusions we can draw from this woman's death so soon after giving birth at such an age? You might not approve of women in their 60s seeking IVF, but anyone can die of cancer. So does Maria del Carmen Busada's death prove anything? Britain's oldest mum, Patricia Rashbrook, she's still going strong, by the way, 65 years young. Her son, JJ, now 3. Has it had any bearing on your view, Yasmin, on its death?
No, it's just one of those things that happened. And very sad it is. Until we say, I'm sorry, I take a very hard line on this, until we all agree as a country, as a society, that men and women beyond a certain age
God,
should
you're
not
more like
have
Larry
children.
Turner every day. How can...
No,
men have been able to produce children forever,
no,
okay,
but that's
and
not what
women
we're talking
haven't.
about. No, we are not talking about that. We're talking about being around for those kids. And
right.
men die before women, actually, most of it.
Yeah.
We have to have the same standards. If we care, if we are really saying, you have your child and you're not with the child... You know, I had my second child quite late. And one of the things that really worries me, I won't be around as long as I should be. I mean, it is something that I worry about. But we have the same law. We must have the same view. Anybody can die at any minute. So that's not anything...
So it has no bearing at all, even though the chance of developing cancer increases significantly once you're over 60?
No, I think the treatment point we can talk about later, but, you know, that there are some people who think if you had that kind of intensive treatment, and I had 2 friends who died, right, younger, much younger
I mean, to be fair, they're looking into... I don't think we can conclude...
No, but there is a group of doctors who does believe that.
OK. Biggins.
Well, my theory is the fact that when the children, the twins, were teenagers, she would have been middle 80s.
Yeah.
And is that fair, bringing up children at that age? And I can't.
So you're seeing her death, which is quite interesting, because you're seeing her death as irrelevant to the issue.
Absolutely. Her death is totally irrelevant. It's just the fact that whatever age she started having these children, she will be an old woman when they need a younger mother, perhaps.
Yeah. Or father.
Or father, absolutely, by the same token. So I think it's sort of such a bad indulgence on people to want children, for whatever reason it is, at that age.
OK. It's interesting, because I said my first reaction, Chemi, was this just proves that older women shouldn't be allowed to have IVF. And I know that she broke the rules by lying anyway. Yeah. Yasmin feels very strongly, though, it's about balancing it out with men, which I'm sort of taking on board. What about you? Has this changed your views on older women and IVF?
You know, that thing when a woman wants to have a child, it just takes over. I've seen my friends when, you know, they want to have kids and they just, no matter what you say to them, they'll try the IVF and try. And that whole thing just completely consumes them. But the thing is, the average life expectancy of a woman in this country is about 80.
Yeah.
So, you know, how much time are you going to have to spend with your child if you have...
So, again, I'm getting the feeling from you that the fact that she's died is just one of those things. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I just think it's not fair to put little ones through a funeral.
But three-quarters of cancers occur in people over 60.
Yeah.
Therefore, she was more likely than a young mum to die of cancer, significantly more likely to die. I think that there is a bearing here somehow. I really do. I don't know.
One doesn't think like that. You know, when I had my daughter at 45, and you're completely right. For the year before, I never thought I'd want another child. I had one who'd grown up, but it consumes you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was lucky I had a child naturally. A friend at the same time had a child at 49. And, you know, don't think about, oh, I might die. You just don't.
I hear. Let's throw it open to you. I'm in a mess over this, actually. I keep thinking it's wrong, but I can understand why the death in itself is maybe an insignificant factor. I don't know. Let's hear what you have to say, Kirsty.
First, we have Eileen on line 2.
Eileen, good morning.
Oh, hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I am confused, actually, so help us out. What's your take on this? What is your view on older women having IVF in the first place?
I think really that you should just go more with the biological clock, and I think that, yes, I know, I do agree with, you know, fertility treatment, etc. like that, but I think once you hit a certain age, I think you become selfish as a prospective mother to want a child. And if you're going to be in your 70s and 80s, I mean, my mum was a great grand, she's a lovely grand to my little 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and but I think if she couldn't be a full-time mother to him, which is great, but she gets tired and she's in her 60s, and I just think that anyone can die at any time.
That's the point, isn't it? I mean, anyone can, and I cite Jade Goody because it's a case that everyone's aware of. 27 years old, dead. 2 young boys. And here we have a woman, 66, 60, whatever it is, she is, 69, dead, 2 young boys. Is it the same? It's life. It's life, it's death.
It is, but I think that once you undertake something, say if you're going to be over the age of 50 to try to conceive, I just think you're putting a child in an unfair, a prospective child in an unfair position, because you're not going to be there to see, I don't know, a 10th birthday maybe, graduate from university, etc. It's not fair on the child, you know.
OK, all right, Eileen, thank you. Let's have another.
We have Jill, who feels older women are selfish.
OK, I kind of feel that too, Jill. Does this woman's death have any bearing on matters?
No, I don't think so. I think the possibility of things like cancer happening to younger people is awful, but it's there. But an older woman not only has the possibility of an illness to take her life, but she has old age to take her life. And I think it's such a selfish thing to do. No one is thinking of the child. They're just thinking that they want. So
where would your... Because it's funny in this country, I mean, the NHS basically cuts you off at 40 in terms of funding, thereabouts. Privately, you can probably go to 50, maybe even mid-50s. Where do you think... And this woman lied. I mean, so in one sense, that kind of excuses the IVF doctors of sorts. They thought she was 55. Is 55 acceptable, Jill?
No. I think probably 40. 45.
Even though we've got people that conceive naturally at 45, at 50?
If it's natural, yes. I mean, then nature says you are able to have a child.
But then the same arguments apply.
I'm sorry, I just think that I read in the paper the other day that someone of 72 is trying to get pregnant.
She looks fantastic.
She might look fantastic, but...
She doesn't.
Still...
Jill, I mean, really, she doesn't. I mean, she looks like your great-granny. Thank you for the call. Fascinating area. It's like we kind of feel you're making history every day with those kind of stories. After the ads, we're asking if you'd let your parents or in-laws be your friends on Facebook. So keep saying no could hurt their feelings. Saying yes could lead to a whole lot of embarrassment if they get access to your personal stuff. Now, not many parents, I should imagine, want to socialise with their grown-up kids when they're out at uni or clubbing with their workmates, so Why would you want to let them do it online? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts. What would you do if you got a friend request from your folks on Facebook? We'll find out on the other side of the ads.
What percentage of parents are friends with their kids on social networking sites? 4, 24 or 64%? Find out after the break.